Welcome back to CLE Weekend. You know, there are so many of these like binge-worthy shows right now that most women secretly indulge in, you know, like the ones set back in the 1800s. So it got me thinking, have our ideas of like romance changed? Here to give us some insight on the dating world is local professional matchmaker Karin Vacakis from It's Just Lunch, Cleveland. So first of all, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're the expert. She's the one who knows. Okay, so for people who haven't seen shows like this, can you kind of explain what they're like?
Yeah, of course. Well, dating shows or shows about dating and romance set in like the 1800s, for example, they really eye-catching, great costumes, great sets. They take people back in time to those old-fashioned courtship rituals, but with a modern twist.
Yeah, and it is nice, right? It is. What do you think is so appealing, though, to people about how they used to date?
I think that modern dating can be frustrating. It can be a lot of work. Like my clients at It's Just Lunch tell me swiping on dating apps can be like another job even. You know, it takes a lot of time. So, you know, bringing back that idea of the slower paced, old-fashioned courtship, it's fun. It's fun to watch.
It's interesting, too, because I feel like even when I used to date, I guess, someone had to, like, call your house phone. Now it's like, what? People used to have phones attached to the wall at the house? You know, so everything, I think, is so different. In terms of, like, singles, right? I'm not single, but someone who is, you know, they're maybe craving some of those old-school romantic moments, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I think dusting off your manners, always really great, you know, you don't have to go all out like they do in those type of shows, but put your best foot forward, open the door for your date, you know, and kind of, you know, keep things simple for a first date. You know, when you're first getting to know someone, the focus should just be on, you know, having a fun conversation, even just get a cup of tea like the Brits do, you know, take a walk around the park, something like that. And then, like you mentioned, put your phone away. I mean, even back in the 1800s, they didn't have any type of phone. So they had to meet face to face, get to know the person in front of them. And I think that's really valuable in dating.
Well, so it's not unrealistic to think that there is the possibility of having a relationship, at least that starts like, you know, it used to.
Exactly. And I think, you know, as well with the current intentional dating and seeing, you know, that a few dates with someone, you don't have to jump into something right away. You're taking a few dates like those people did in the past, you know, where they're kind of courting each other, getting to know each other on a deeper level before, you know, making a decision on a relationship. Yeah. And you might even meet a few people and go through a few dates with a few people before you find the person you want to start a relationship
with. Yeah, right. You don't have to like put everything in one basket. Okay, let's talk about some of the old school like dating habits that maybe single people should consider reviving.
Absolutely. So I think, you know, like I touched on the manners.
Yes.
Putting your best foot forward. One of the funnest things to watch on those shows, I think, is the costumes, you know, and you don't have to go all out, but it's always really appreciated to put your best foot forward on a date, you know. You don't want to look like you came from the gym or just straight out of work, you know. You want to make sure that someone can tell that you put in the effort.
And you feel better when you like are actually investing in yourself and being like, okay, maybe I'll do my nails and like actually, you know.
Yeah,
I know we all get into the habit of wearing like yoga clothes, right? But like,
yeah, when you feel your best. Yeah, when you feel your best, it comes across. It really does. I see that with my clients.
Okay, let's talk about like keeping that classic style of dating, but okay, other things maybe that people can do, like, and still mixing with like the modern dating routine. So let's say like still, okay, phones, I mean, inevitably people are going to use them to date, but like how about other suggestions that people could do?
Yeah, of course. Well, I think, you know, a big one is a lot of people, they, you know, go to restaurants or bars and things like that for a date. Even when you are kind of doing a second, third date, I think getting out and doing an activity. Like I said, you know, walk around the park. It's summer. There are a lot of things going on, outside concerts and things like that. So that kind of brings it to the modern era as well. There are lots of things going on that you can do while still taking it a bit slower in the dating process.
Well, and I see on some of these shows too, there's like no touching and you can't be alone without like, you know, a supervised adult. I'm like, what? Like, it's just very different how it was back then.
Yeah, it's very different. So yeah, I would say don't take it all to that extent. But people really do, you know, they like the chivalry. Chivalry is not dead, and I don't think it ever will die. So people always appreciate that.
Well, let's talk about you for a minute, and It's Just Lunch. So tell us a little bit about, you know, where we can get information, because this is a matchmaking service.
Yes, and I do think my clients really appreciate the personal touch of matchmaking.
Yes.
Like those shows, you know, you're meeting someone in person. So I set up really fun blind find dates for my clients. And you can find us at itsjustlunchcleveland.com and give us a call there.
Yeah, it makes it easier too sometimes. Like you said, when you don't have to worry about swiping and doing all that, like, hi, professionals, leave it to you guys, and you can give us the results that we're looking for.
Yeah.
It's great. All right. It's Just Lunch. Tell us again where we can find more information.
Okay, you can find me at itsjustlunchcleveland.com. Check us out, give us a call, and I'll set up some fun dates for you.
I love it. Wonderful. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Karin.
so much for having me.
All right, we'll be back on CLE Weekend. Stay right here.